this is very bad news if this happens. And it did happen in the 1970s. And the reason is, think about it this way. If you have 2% inflation, which is where we were a few years ago, before the COVID thing hit, but you're growing at 3% a year, well, you're still growing at a real rate of 1%, 3% growth minus 2% inflation, growth of 1%. You'd like it a little stronger than that, but it's still real growth. In stagflation, you could have 4% inflation, 5% inflation, even higher in the 1970s, and you may have an economy that is flat or not growing at all. So if you have 5% inflation and 2% growth, that means you're having 3% negative growth, 5 minus 2. That's not good. You want to be on a positive side. So that's what stagflation is, and it's a real drag on the economy. And that did happen in the 1970s for a variety of reasons. So this presents a real problem for the Federal Reserve, because in 1977, the Fed was given a dual mandate. They were given the mandate to fight inflation and to keep job growth strong. Now, you've got a real problem in stagflation with this dual mandate, because if you try to reduce inflation by raising interest rates, that's the standard way you do it. You raise rates and it reduces demand, inflation goes down. What you do is you further slow the economic growth and you increase unemployment. Well, you don't want to do that. And if you try to boost growth, if jobs are weak, you try to boost growth by lowering interest rates, you can worsen inflation. You see, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. This is why you don't want stagflation. General way to understand this, you want growth to be stronger than inflation. If the GDP is 3%, inflation is 2%, you got 1% positive growth. You want to be on the positive side of the ledger. Stagflation means you're on the negative side of the ledger. You don't want to do that. You want to avoid that. And that's why people freaked out on the tariffs, because they're inflationary. The market believes they are inflationary. And that inflationary, on top of reducing the economy, throws you into the potential of stagflation.